going on? What's going on? How y'all feeling? Yeah, so I wanted to make this topic today about false information and lies, allegations, and everything, you name it. Storytellers and liars. There's a scripture that state that these times will be full of boastful individuals, lying and people creating things to either get some form of financial gain or position. And if you're not aware or have insight of what's taking place, the spirit will actually show you who's who because you can feel it. You know what I'm saying? You can hear it in a person's voice, their lifestyle, etc. Sometimes some of us as humans, forget that your actions and your not so much of your aura, but your personality will display who you really are. I wanted to speak on a specific topic for a reason because I noticed that I seem to have a lot of hidden followers that I've been noticing for a long time. And they think because they have those abilities that I just finished talking about, that they can do things to try to conquer goodness and put it like that. And that is really impossible. You may have a brief moment of time where you can stick out as a warrior or a lie or a soldier or whatever you want to call it. A boss or a certain person in position. But that should never last as long because only the Most High gives you those abilities, especially through your speech and your aura. There's a lot of individuals going through suffering matters that do not display some of those aspects. A lot of people suffer sometimes to better their spirit or themselves. And I'm not talking about financial, I'm talking about spiritual. This is a heavy, strong time that we're actually living in. And you have to be careful because it is really like on, well, for me, it's like on a real sensitive point to a point where a sensitive point to a point where you got to be careful and stay as strong as you can because those things, those type of people can distract you and try to tear you down from a distance. So you got to be careful. Yep. I got a delay here, so just give me a minute. Yeah, it's getting breezy out here. Sun is down already. So, like I said, just glancing and listening to a lot of some of these boastful individuals, podcasts, and egotism that they're displaying, and hold on, because I haven't. Hold on. So yeah, um, there was some points. Sometimes some of us do want to display or act out of character, and you look at yourself personally, and you say, "Is this gonna make me feel better, or is this gonna corrupt me or leave me in a certain position? Or should I go there?" And if you have a mind to a point where okay, you're paying attention to things you read, you're paying attention to your body. If your body's a temple, you got to sometimes look at it. Okay, I must remain meek and calm and peaceful. Why should I allow these type of individuals to corrupt me mentally? You know, even the most intelligent men um, went through multiple things as far as pressure to push them into a certain position, but they didn't break so much. You know what I'm saying? To a point where they started corrupting themselves mentally and harming other people. And I think that's the best way to go. Like I said, I have a lot of I got some of my points and my positions mentally where from good men that are either they're locked up based off of false information, or a point where they have been attacked spiritually, you know, but they still remain, they composure and teach other people from the same grounds that they came from and born up to be aware of the negative that's around them, that some people do not understand or they don't see, or they act like as if they don't see. Um, you don't want to, how can I say, fall down so much to a point where you're willing to give your life and your soul over to something that just doesn't last long. Why should you? You know, you want to push to that point where when when it's time to go, and your demise comes around, you want to be in a position with that goodness. You know what I'm saying? That the Creator's goodness and um, go out in the same form that you came in. You understand? But yeah, there's a lot of adults with signed hallway passes and certain particular speech abilities, and thinking that they can fully determine each and every person in the circus itself, and think they can steer in directions that because they're getting hall passes. Let's put it that way. Um, when you have some adults that do think uh, um, like a child, I'm gonna say it like that. You know, some people get thinking like a child by how can I say this? Because someone is in a low financial position that they're thinking like a child, or it's your fault that you're in a certain position. Um, that's boasting to me, because we all have um, we all have that. How can I say this? We all have that responsibility of helping other people. You know what I'm saying? If you go around the world thinking, especially, you haven't born up like that. You go around thinking that you don't have the help or look out for people that's in need, then I think that shows who you really are. Um, I think the people should stay away from you. If you're using lies and corruption and being part of certain things, then you are them people that everyone should stay away from. That's a must. Because I wouldn't even want you around no one I know. But it's not right. It's not right out here how people are attacking others. You know, I actually seen a man online for 9 to 10 hours, and each every couple hours that I would go and check and see how this person is going. Just to see, because you can see a person incriminating themselves or doing things to themselves that they're not aware of, but they will do it for the sake of position and lie in your face. And think that it's not destroying themselves. It's really destroying you. Um, Certain spiritual aspects can lead you into self-destruction. And if you think that you're willing to take that high, or that, I'm gonna say, that gold level of a, it's bad. It really is bad at this time, 2025, how people are really willing to do that to themselves. Sometimes for a bag of peanuts or a loaf of bread. You understand what I'm saying? So this conversation is not for everybody. You hear that, man? This guy actually, this guy's actually out here yelling at his dogs, threatening to beat him up. Wow. And the sun going down because you done left them dogs out there all night again today. So, wow, listen to him. So, yeah, it's a sad ordeal, when majority of the teenagers and some adults look for inspiration, and they look into their own community